Good afternoon, fellow Tamaraos. FEU is currently embarking on regular virtual learning sessions with industry experts to create an impact on curriculum design and delivery. This is done by bridging industry practice and academic training through an initiative dubbed as Industry Mentorship Program for the Advancement of Classroom Teaching or IMPACT. Our speaker this afternoon is Mr. Christopher Anthony Patron. He is currently the head of FinTech and Digital Partnerships at Sun Life of Canada Philippines Incorporated. Ton brings with him 17 years of experience in the financial industry. He has extensive knowledge in the business development, sales management. As the digital insurance landscape in the Philippines gears up to greater heights, Ton is building strategic partnerships to allow Filipinos to access financial security through digital technology. Before joining Sun Life in 2019,
I'd like to set the expectation of what we will be talking about this afternoon. First, I'd like to introduce an overview of financial planning in the context of personal finance. Second, I will have an introduction on to new perspectives on how we build wealth as Filipinos. And I would also have some practical guides to help you get started with your financial planning and also building wealth. However, again, this being a finance talk, I would like to make it clear that we won't have any math this afternoon. Wala po tayong math except for a basic plus or minus this discussion. Also, unfortunately, it's hard to set the stage for financial planning in a 1 hour session. Again, it takes a consistent effort to make sure that you have a solid and a solid foundation when it comes to personal finance. So, hindi po tayo makakagawa ng financial plan this afternoon. And of course, I promise I won't be selling any products today. Particularly on my example, so iniwasan ko pong gumawa ng presentation for products because I want to really focus on your attitude and the behavior towards personal finance. So if you're ready, so let's start. Okay, so for this afternoon, our official hashtag is SLFEU Impact 2020. If there's something you want to that struck you and you want to post this online, be sure to use this hashtag para makita po natin kung ano yung mga natutunan ng mga participants. Okay? So, let's start with our presentation. Why learn personal finance? bakit natin kailangan ito matutunan, and why is it very important, especially nowadays. Because there are 4 key points I want to stress out. First is, talking about money is a sensitive and often private discussion. If it happens, no? So kadalasan hindi pinag-uusapan ng pera sa pamilya, and it's hard for us to talk about money. And what that results to is a culture that is averse to discussing anything related to building wealth or anything related to prosperity in relation to money itself. Next is, only a handful of Filipinos save and invest. And also, we lack a basic knowledge to navigate through our own finances, which results to heavy loans and poor banking and insurance penetration in the Philippines. Also, we still live in a society that puts a lot of negativity towards being wealthy. Mamaya pag-uusapan natin yan. But take a look at this example. No? I got this very recent information on regarding our spending. No? So BSP says Filipinos are financially ill prepared for retirement. And they are now offering a digital way to access PERA, or the Personal Equity Retirement Account. Also, we rank very low in digital banking penetration. However, we spend 186 billion booking trips and accommodations online. So, kamusta naman yung Lazada natin dyan? At kamusta yung ating mga Airbnb? No, of course, this came before the pandemic. It was an article back in February 2019. Also, people in the Philippines spend most of their time online. However, we still have very low banking penetration. As I mentioned, we are only 22% of eligible adults have a bank account. And also, COVID-19 claims show low insurance penetration in the Philippines. So during this pandemic, we see that there's not much claims in the insurance in the Philippines, and that reflects on how many people are insured. Again, this reflects to our attitude towards handling our finances and building a stable financial foundation. Now, I guess in all of this, what we need to do is to reset, no? And think about how we see money and building wealth. So this is what you call the see, do, get principle. What you see or how you see the world is your thinking paradigm. And of course, how you see the world will determine your behavior towards it. And your behavior will determine also what you get. No? So kung ang tingin mo, money is not something that you need, and anong gagawin mo sa pera? Gagastusin mo siya. 'Di ba? Allergic ka sa pera, ayaw mo maging mayaman, or gusto mo yumaman pero hindi mo alam kung paano. So you do certain things, and of course, what you do will give you the result. Take for example this picture of an animal, no. So lagi ko itong ginagamit to set this example. If I ask you how many animals do you see, kadalasan 6, 5, 4. No? So this is a pattern. This is how you see this picture. But if I talk about, or I show you the answer, tignan natin, no? Yan. Diba? Biglang nagbago yung tingin mo dun sa picture. So from 4 or 5, you now realize na mas madami pa palang animals dyan. No? So what does this have to do with financial planning? Actually, your paradigm will again spell the difference between your success and how you build wealth. And I would like to reset our thinking about building wealth and the money and savings and investment, so that we have a clear picture on how we can proceed. Right? So what's a typical Filipino wealth paradigm? How do we think about wealth, or what do we think about wealth? So kadalasan ang mga Filipinos, we talk about wealth and stability and reference it to property. So, nung bata ako, ang sabi sa akin, bumili ka ng bahay at lupa, magpundar ka, yan yung term natin, magpundar, bumili ng bahay at lupa, and oftentimes, we borrow for it, right? And we say that it's an investment. Actually, a house is not an investment if you will live if you will live in it, no? Ang bahay po ay necessity. It's a necessity, it's one of the basic needs, and you have to have this, but you have to manage how you get your house as well. So magpundar sa bahay at lupa is one of our wealth paradigms. Second, mag-ipon. So it's not true that we don't know how to save. In fact, madami sa atin nag-iipon, kaya nila mag-ipon, mostly sa bangko, but kadalasan, mas madalas saan? Sa alkansya, sa ilalim ng unan, sa cabinet, especially sa provinces when we're banking, there are no physical branches present, no? So mahirap sa kanila ang pumunta sa bangko at mag-deposit. So naiiwan yung pera sa bahay. So next is send your kids to school and they will take care of your retirement. Again, this is a basic and debatable thinking, but again, if this is not you, this is not your family, this is not how you were raised, good for you. But I would like to also reiterate that it's a fact. It's a sad fact, but it's a reality that there's a segment in our society who will depend on sending their children to school and being able to so that they can graduate and lift their families out of poverty. Now, this creates a generation of what we call a sandwich generation ng mga bata na after graduating who will start to support their parents, but at the same time start to also build their family. The good news is we can stop this cycle, and it only takes one generation. And the best answer to this is really financial literacy and learning. Now, being able to learn how to manage your finances. Also, there's a thinking that if you have more money, more problem. No, kadalasan sa atin when we talk about wealth, may kasama siyang problema. So there's a lot of negativity around it. And also as a Catholic nation, as a Christian nation, we misquote the Bible. No, madaming mga Bible verses that we use that's not that doesn't provide a positive impact on how you build your wealth as well. Like yung, for example, yung blessed are the poor, right? Lagi nating, or well, at least ako, narinig ko yan sa 8 Beatitudes. No? Blessed are the poor daw. So, but if you read the context of these things, it's not about the Bible and what's in it doesn't promote poverty. In fact, the Bible, if anything, tells us to subdue the earth, meaning also, and I don't want to be preachy here, but I guess the reference point here really is the instructions on how to live life. Again, ako personally, sa Bible ako titingin. As a Christian, this is my guideline. And nakalagay sa Bible, we are commanded to subdue the earth and multiply. And that doesn't just it's not in the context of multiplying na magparami ka ng anak mo or ng generation mo. It's also subduing the earth means building wealth, building prosperity, and making sure that you honor God with what He's given you by leaving this earth with better than when you got into it. No? So those are the very important things and very important thinking that we need to correct as well. So, example, ito na lang. So, I guess I can't make this as interactive as I want to, but think about this. So, what do Batman, Professor X, Iron Man, and Black Panther all have in common? So, kung may nasagot na kayo dyan, ito naman yung next question. Sila Captain Barbell, si Darna, Panday, and Pedro Penduko, ano meron sila? The first group are actually superheroes of that were made by authors in the US, and all of them are rich. Now, so mayayaman sila. Dito sa Philippines, ang ating mga superheroes are all, tama kayo, poor. They are poor. In fact, a lot of them, especially itong mga nasa picture na to, medyo mystical ang nature, no, ng kanilang powers. Umaasa sila sa magic. Right? When yung unang mga set of heroes are all rich, that's why they can help and they are they have their superpowers, right? So again, the bottom line here is it's not our fault that we think this way. Since time immemorial, we were set to think that there's a certain negativity about how we manage wealth and how we produce wealth and how we build wealth as well. So again, we have to change that mindset. So the question is money evil? No, I'd like to answer this by again going back to what the Bible says about this. And hindi masama ang magkapera. Ang masama is kung mamahalin mo yung pera more than the love that God deserves from you. So, for the love of money is the root of all evil, or all kinds of evil. Some people eager for money have wandered from the faith and pierced themselves with many griefs. So, that's the First Timothy 6:10. So, next question, is being rich bad? Again, sabi sa Bible, hindi. 'Di ba? Sabi nga ni God, let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness, so that they may rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, over the livestock and all the wild animals, over the creatures that move along the ground. Nakakita na ba kayo ng ruler, no? Na hindi mukhang mayaman? If you are made in the image of God, no, makikita mo ba sa sarili mo na you are set to inherit this earth because you were created by God. So I'd like to correct this thinking and pursue the thinking that we are meant to subdue this earth and we are meant to build wealth and we are meant for prosperity. So how do we do that? So pinakita ko na sa inyo yung thinking. So that is how we see the world. That's our current paradigm. What's our behavior? No, paano natin to ginagawa? Ano yung result nung how we see the earth and how we see the wealth paradigm, how we see what's given to us? Ito naman ngayon yung behavior. This is what we do. So, mas madami sa atin travel, shop. Of course, ngayon, dahil nga sa pandemic, bawas yan. Shop now, pay later. I will save when I earn more. And yung mga basta yayaman ako, tsaka YOLO. No? These are the things that we put our mind when it comes to money. So pag bonus, pag nakakuha tayo ng additional income, we spend it. In fact, this pandemic has been a game changer on how we spend money. And this pandemic has surfaced a lot of things, a lot of bad things about how we spend money, how we earn money, and all about also thinking about our cash flow. Now, if anything, also this situation where we are in, this pandemic, is also an opportunity to reset and think about what's important and think about how we can really start securing our future, and building wealth, right? So, ito yung behavior. So, this is what we do with what we see. So, what's the result? No, this is back in 2013, but I'm sure if this is not worse, this could be something that is more consistent. And this is a survey done by Sun Life. And it says that 9 out of 10 Filipinos struggled with finances in 2013. Again, because of this COVID-19 pandemic, I think it's pretty much the same or even worse nowadays, right? So, saan tayo nag-struggle? First is household needs, basic household needs. Second, school fees, pang-enroll, pang-bayad ng field trip, right? And then there's also medical bills. And then there's loan payments. These are the things that we miss out paying and we fall short of or kinapos tayo when it comes to our finances, no? And again, while this is back in 2013, I think this is also more true now than ever. So how do we start? How do we build wealth? What's the practical guide? Again, I'm here this afternoon to whet your appetite, but I'm more than happy to come back and give you more discuss more on creating all of these plans, because on top of a financial plan, or I should say part of a financial plan, are several things. First is your liquidity, like how do you plan for your cash flow, where do you get your money? Those things you need to ask as well. Next is That's your planning, liquidity planning. You have your investment planning. Where do I put my money? How do I invest my money? What instruments are safe? Where can I take the risk? Can I afford to buy a new car or a new house with this income? Those things are part of a financial plan. You also have your estate planning, where you now look at where you how you transfer wealth from yourself to your children and the next generation. There's end of life planning as well. So there is a very complex discussion. In fact, I'm surprised that not a lot of school, or I don't think there's a school offering financial literacy as a course yet. Maybe FEU can start by building this in the curriculum for graduate student, because a lot of the things I'm learning and I'm trying to teach was not taught to me in school. Lahat yan natutunan ko pagka-graduate ko na. It's just very fortunate for me that when I my first job was working with one of the leading financial experts in the Philippines, and he has become a great mentor. No, if you can look at the website and the profile of Rex Mendoza of Framver Financial, if you can take a look at and search Randall Tiongson, Chinky Tan, these are the people that I follow on Facebook where I learn from. So I'm also a student of financial planning, right? And I can help you in this journey and again go back to basics, right? And so this afternoon, these are the things that I would like to leave you with in terms of our discussion. So first is create a plan. Second, build your storehouses. Ano ibig sabihin nun? I will discuss. And avoid bad debt. So, huwag tayong umutang. Kung maiiwasan natin, forget about borrowing money. Right? But of course, hindi yan may iwasan in reality. So, how do you manage it? We'll also talk about that. And it's also part of a good financial plan, yung debt management. Now, first, yan, create a plan. Again, so I don't want to be preachy, pero ito yung mga basics, no? Kaya gusto ko talaga simulan kung saan ko siya nakuha. Ano yung reference point mo, Ton? Bakit yan yung ginagamit? So, while I look up to mentors and experts, I'd also follow a book. And that book, again, is the Bible. And this is what it says, no? For which of you intending to build a tower does not sit down first and count the cost, whether he... Luke 14:28. Ayan. So, ano ibig sabihin nun? Create a plan for your investment and for yourself. So, where you are, where you want to go, how do you get there? So, these are the things that you want to include in your plan. And also make your goals smart. So, here is an example of a basic discussion on where you are or where I am. So, in looking at where you are, you want to look at your cash flow. Saan ba nanggagaling yung pera ko? Meron ba akong sweldo? Meron ba akong business? Meron ba akong ibang pinagkukuhaan ng kita, no? So everything that goes into your bank account or sa wallet mo, that's an inflow. Now, pagdating naman sa expense, that's an outflow. Ano-ano yung mga expenses natin ngayon? Data. Very important, lalo na siguro sa mga millennials at saka mga phillennials na katulad ko. You want to stay connected, right? And you have your Facebook, your Twitter. You also spend on food, shelter, clothing, entertainment, and vacation, right? So those are expenses. Those are outgoing expenses. How do you make this something that's part of a plan? In the second bullet, you want to take a look where you want to go. So you write down, no? Ito nga yung sinasabi kong storehouse, no? So, for example, you have your dream house, your vacation, kids' education. Sorry, nadoble ko yung dream house. Retirement, no? Pwede yung pwedeng dream, meron kayo kung gusto ng business, pwede nyo ding ilagay dyan. These are storehouses where you put your money individually. No? Wag po nating gagawin yung lahat ng savings natin nasa bank account lang. No, that's a surefire way to miss your goal. right? Bakit?
These
Kasi
are
nawawalan tayo ng
storehouses where
discipline
you
in
put your money
savings,
individually.
and nagagalaw
Wag
natin
po
yung pera
nating
natin
gagawin
if
yung
we don't
lahat ng savings
separate
natin
all
sa
of
bank
this.
account
So,
lang.
kailangan
That's a
ilagay
surefire
natin
way
tong
to
tinatawag
miss your
natin
goal.
na storehouses. Let's pray for these storehouses. Let's pray for these goals. In fact, kami nga ng wife ko, she's very good at doing this. Medyo old school pa yon. Pag sa kanya, ako yung digital guy. So, nag-open ako ng mga bank accounts sa mga digital banks. So, I have my accounts with BPI. I have my accounts with ING, which is a good digital bank. And of course, being in Sun Life, I have my accounts, my investments in mutual funds. I make sure that I cover myself as well pagdating sa mga risks involved, no? So these things, again, I know it because part siya ng profession ko. But just imagine how many Filipinos hindi pa nila narinig yan. Right? So, again, this is where you want to go. You have your storehouses. The question is how do you get there? Now you fund all of these storehouses. You put a little for your dream house, you put a little for your vacation, you put a little for your kids' education, and then your retirement. More importantly, make this smart goals. Ano yung smart goals? Ano na to? Doon sa mga graduate natin na mga listeners and yung mga business courses, naturo na sa inyo to siguro yung specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. No? So ano ibig sabihin? Or letter A is also actionable. So, specific, it's a dream house. Measurable, 3 million pesos. Actionable, I will put this in my BPI savings account, or I will put this in my mutual fund, right? Actionable, again, you put it that you have a way of putting it there. Realistic, how much do I need to put aside? Will I hit this? How much interest rates or interest rate should I get, or investment income should I get so that I can hit this? And time bound. Do you do this in 5 years? Do you do this in 10 years? Right? So all of this, so make this smart goals as well, right? Second, and this is one of the more practical applications, is you have to, if you're doubting if you can save, if hindi mo alam kung saan mo lalagay yung kukunin yung pera mo for your savings and your storehouses, this is a tool that I use personally. It's actually a prioritization matrix. It's something I got from Brian Tracy, one of the management authors. And sa kanya itong you determine what's a necessity versus discretionary spending. So ano to? So you have your important and urgent, important but not urgent, not important but urgent, and not important and not urgent. So yung mga important and urgent, yan yung necessity. These are things na hindi mo pwede i-forgo. Alright? And I'll give you an example of that later. Ang discretionary mo naman, not important and hindi din urgent. You don't even have to spend for this if you don't have to. If you don't have money, or ito yung last na sanang gastusan mo. Important but not urgent are your life goals. And not important but urgent are your interruptions, or yung mga spending na hindi mo inaasahan na kailangan mong gastusin. Now, with all of this, kailangan maglalagay ka ngayon ng specific. So, bibigyan ko kayo ng example, and this is my personal example, no? So, for important and urgent, you have electric bills, phone bills, grocery, water bills, mortgage, no? So, or yung mga utang mo, kailangan mo, guys, magbayad kayo ng utang, by the way, no? So, one of the discipline that you have to do, kung by chance, by necessity, kailangan mong umutang, bayaran natin yan. So, that's an important and urgent spending. Right? Next, again, sample lang to ha, and I'll discuss this further in a bit. But, important but not urgent. Tuition fee, insurance, retirement, all of these are important. But sometimes, since matagal pa siya, hindi natin sila pinag-iipunan. Next is not important but urgent. Ano yun? Yung mga school expense, medical, no? For example, may kailangan na project, may kailangan kang bilhin, may kailangan mo ng USB dahil kailangan mo mag-save ng files. Hindi mo naman na plano yon, pero kailangan mo siyang bilhin. Tapos, nagkasakit ka. No, you need to buy medicine. You got a flat tire. Kailangan mo bumili ng bagong gulong, bagong kotse, bagong battery ng kotse. No, those are not important but urgent spending. And lastly, not important and not urgent. Ano yun? Travel, coffee, dining, shopping. Hindi naman siya importante. But these are things that for some of us, we spend on, no? So, yung kape, lalo na, yung iba minsan may debate pa. When I go to live sessions, sasabihin ng iba, hindi, gusto ko coffee. Importante yan sa akin. Lagay mo yan sa important and urgent, no? Okay, fine. That's good. This is, again, something that's a part of a personal financial plan. And I would always like to say that personal finance is personal. And with all of these things, it moves, no? So, for example, yung important but not urgent or yung travel, not important and urgent, not urgent. After some time, pag hindi ka bumabiyahe, nagiging nagiging important and urgent, right? Just try, 5 years, walang vacation. Diba? Parang magiging important and urgent na siya. So, with proper planning, all of this will come into place and be in a place where you can really enjoy spending for this. No? So, may mga misconception kasi na for some of us that pag nag-financial planning ako, hindi na ako makakapagkape or ayoko kumausap ng advisor kasi pag bumili ako ng insurance, hindi na ako makaka-shopping, no? That's a fallacy. Hindi po totoo 'yan. And the reason why we're doing what we're doing is because we want you to enjoy where you spend your money and how you spend your money. Next is, dito tayo sa second one, save and invest. I encourage you to spend less than what you earn. Start early and make this a habit, no? Kadalasan kasi sa atin, when we get our salary, nauubos natin siya and then umuutang pa tayo, right? So I'm addressing especially those mga nagtatrabaho na po na member ng FEU community, our faculty, our non-teaching staff, no? This is a challenge for us. And sometimes you can't help it. May mga emergency nga na kailangan. So you end up borrowing. But again, the basic really is spend less than what you earn. And also augment your income. You also want to start early and make investing a habit. All right. So I will skip this. This is just something that to show you that there's a place for savings, right? So when you need liquidity, you put it in a savings account. But if you need higher returns for your money, you want to invest this, right? So is this safe? Definitely not. So while it's guaranteed, if you put your money here for long term, it's not a safe bet. What you want to do in your savings account is to put money there to address liquidity. Savings account is very important. In fact, you'll start with this one. And after your savings account, you want to invest your money. Saan? Saan natin siya ilalagay? Doon sa ating mga storehouses. And then also take a look, consider inflation. Right? Dahil ngayon, yung 1,000 pesos mo is worth this much when you go to Starbucks. Right? So, para kang merong kape every 6.5 days. So, from Monday to Saturday, and then Sunday, kalahati na lang yung coffee mo, meron kang coffee pag may 1,000 pesos ka. Or, 50 na cornetto. Diba? 20 pesos kasi ang cornetto. But, in 25 years, ganito na lang yan. That's why it's very important to make your money earn for you. And the way to do this is to think about investing. And this is how you also distinguish, no? So this is just another example of your necessity versus discretionary spending. Save and invest, you want to spend less than what you earn. For example, cellphone. Kailangan mo lang naman, di ba, yung makakapag-text ka at makakatawag ka. So meron ng Cherry Mobile for that. Pero syempre, kailangan mo mas magandang screen o kaya mas magandang camera ng konti. Tsaka yung gusto mo may TV. So meron kang MyPhone. Eh, nakita mo yung mga kaklase mo o yung office mate mo ang ganda ng camera, 8 megapixel, 25,000 na Huawei or Samsung. Tapos naglabas ng bagong iPhone 12. No? So without you knowing it, nag-start ka lang dun sa what you need, but there's a continuum that leads you to spend more on something that you just want, right? So you have to distinguish that. That's a behavioral change that you want to shift. And second part is start early. Ito ang example ng monthly savings of 1,000 pesos earning 11.99% return. I promise wala tayong math, so hindi ko to i-discuss, but it's safe. Ang ginamit ko po dito na 11.99% is the Philippine Stock Exchange Index. Ayan, so that's the first and last product that I will mention as an example dahil nag-promise ako, but the Philippine Stock Exchange Index has produced an 11.99% return long term. Right? But if you start saving at 20 years old, yung pong dark green or light green line, you will have 15 million at age 65. Kung 30 years old ka nag-start, 4.9 million. Kung 40-year-old ka nag-start, 1.5 million na lang yan. At kung sa 50-year-old ka nag-start, you're going to have your investment or your money at 458,000. And this is how a habit will look like. And again, this is what I do, and this is how it earns, no? Yung pong nasa top ng line is a mutual fund invested in the stock market at 1,000 a month from January 2001 up to December 2017, meron kang 700,000. Kung nasa balance fund siya, 568,000. Kung nasa bond fund siya, nasa 400,000 siya. And that's this kind of investment approach provides you the discipline to do and to make investment a habit, which is again very important. No? Third one is avoid bad debt. If it can be avoided, do not borrow money. You have to spend wisely and cover yourself from emergency. Kadalasan, pag kinakapos tayo and may emergency, that's when we really need to borrow money. That's why we have insurance, no? For health, accident, or even death, you have to consider being able to cover yourself so that when emergency comes, you don't have to borrow. If you cannot avoid borrowing, choose the option that will provide you with the best cash flow position as well. That's a very important thing to consider. Now, when it comes to investments, it's really about commitment of funds and an expectation of positive rate of return. So that's when you get into your investment planning, pag-uusapan natin to. But everything is all about the risk and the kind of risk that you're willing to take, and what will the risk should commensurate to the return. So para maiwasan din natin yung mga scam. So ito yung risk-reward graph. So the most aggressive type of investment that I've experienced personally is putting up your own business. Now, if you have your own business, this is where you spend most of your money. But the next one will be real estate and stock market. Also, sort of highest return but relatively safe yung real estate. Managed funds, these are called what you call UITF or mutual funds. I advise you to check this out online because unfortunately, again, we can't discuss this in detail today. You have your fixed income or through the capital market. So ito yung mga bonds na narinig natin, treasury bills, treasury notes, and then your deposit. But there's one type of investment that has the highest return with the lowest potential risk, and that is scam or yourself, right? So invest in yourself, continue to invest in learning, and make sure that you are always aware of what's happening para maiwasan natin yung mga scam, and we can avoid losing money in scams, right? So this is just an example. So babalik ako to yung managed funds, eto yan. Bond fund, balance fund, equity fund. Depending on your time horizon and your risk profile, these are where you want to put your money in. Now, ultimately, before I start with the Q&A, ultimately, for me, it's the accumulation of wealth for the purpose of accumulating is pointless. I guess it's really all about honoring God with what you've built and your wealth and what you've done so far. So I hope and I pray that after listening, I have at least piqued your interest in pursuing financial literacy and being able to pursue learning about how you can build wealth. So if you have questions, so in summary, create a plan and set your goals, save and invest, honor God with your wealth. So ito po yung napag-usapan natin so far. So if you want to get in touch with me, I'm available in Twitter, tonpatronph, and that's my Instagram account. So as I promised, our organizer, si Adalbert, thank you very much, sir, for inviting me. I would like to open the floor for discussions and question and answer from the attendees. Cam? Go ahead, Cam. I think nakamute si Cam.
Okay. Thank you so much for that very informative lecture. And now we would like to invite everyone to ask questions to our speaker. So our first question here is, what is the best age to invest?
Good question. For me, if you are qualified already here in the Philippines, it's actually age 18, mag-start ka na. As I mentioned, diba, start early. The earlier the start, the better it is for you. Because hindi ko siya na-explain kanina, and I'm happy this came up because you are as a fresh grad or kung bago ko pa lang nagsisimula, you don't have the money per se. So ano ka pa lang, low income level, but you have your best asset, which is time. And in investing, it's not about timing the market, it's about time in the market. So how long you stay invested is will also spell the potential risk and return that you can avail.
I see. That is quite related to the old saying that the early bird catches the worm. So
yes.
to follow up that question, so what kind of investment is based on age? So what kind of investment is the best per age group, I guess?
Okay. So I normally don't answer specific investments. Now, again, personal finance is personal. You can be a 21-year-old but very conservative. So with that, I'd like to sit down and really say na, you have more time to invest. You go to you take a look at investing in the stock market or investing in real estate or even in your own business and yourself, right? As I mentioned earlier. But in terms of age, kung age lang talaga yung pag-uusapan, if you have a longer time frame for investing, you invest dun sa mga more aggressive investments. And I'm not talking about yung mga scams na 15% a month ang return. I'm talking about legitimate investments that you can get from your bank or from your financial advisor. Ito yung tinatawag nga nilang UITF and mutual funds. So if you're older, no offense sa mga retirees and retiring na listeners natin, if you have less time to be able to ride the market, you invest in more conservative investments, yung mga treasury bills, treasury notes. Mutual funds that are invested in bonds are also good options. No, again, that's just based on if you're just going to ask about age. But for me, it's about investing is more accurately measured in terms of the risk you are willing to take and the goal and the time horizon of your goal.
See, that's very informative. And I hope that our fellow Tamaraos will be able to take note of that. So for another question, can you give us an idea on the smallest possible investment for students with minimal allowance?
Oh, good question. If you go to Sun Life, our mutual funds, you can start investing in our mutual funds for as low as 1,000 pesos initial investment. Initial. Yung additional investment mo, for as low as 500 pesos, pwede ka na mag-monthly investment. So, let me just clarify that. You don't have to um, give for a mutual fund investment. You don't have to buy regularly monthly. No, hindi yan insurance na may lapse. No, you can get your mutual fund investment one time but and make additional investments over time. So pwedeng monthly, pwedeng quarterly, semi-annual, annual. It's really up to you. But my advice is again, make it a habit. It's very important that you find the same joy in spending as investing. No, just think about this in another angle. Let me give you another perspective. When you're investing, think about it as as an expense for your future self. Don't think about it as a kasi gagastusin mo din yan later on eh. Don't think about it as a lost opportunity to buy something else because later on you can buy that thing that you want. Yun nga, kung every 2 years nag-upgrade ka ng cellphone, baka pwedeng gawin mo every 5 years para makaipon ka. Right? And that's very important because yun nga, you just have to feel the pain first of that initial blow to your cash flow nung investment mo. Once you get used to it, it's all a matter of discipline and tuloy-tuloy na yan. So you can really experience building wealth, really experience being able to and enjoying spending for your future in the form of investment.
Discipline is really needed when in terms of investment, since we can't really invest without having discipline if we're the shopaholic type of people. But
Yes. Lalo na, so maybe to your point this is very important because before, when there was no Lazada, there's no Shopee, the point of struggle for purchase happens at the mall. Right? So pag uwi mo, tapos na yon. Pag nasa mall ka, nasa Glorieta ka, nung panahon ko, quad pa yung tawag dyan, no? Pagpunta mo sa mall at hindi mo binili yung sapatos na gusto mo, pag uwi mo sa bahay, tapos na. Today, bago ka pa pagpunta sa mall, meron ng temptation. Tingnan mo, search mo sa Facebook ngayon, Adidas or Nike. Right? Pag search mo yan sa Google mo, pagpunta mo sa Facebook, may ad ka na for Nike and Adidas. Right? So napupush talaga kasi magugulat ka, nakikinig ba sa akin si Adidas, si Nike? Hindi, sinearch mo siya eh. So once you search that, the struggle to spend increases kasi kahit nasa phone mo, nakikita mo siya at pwede mo siyang bilhin. No? Gone are the days na kung ayaw mo bilhin, umuwi ka sa bahay, tapos na.
right. That really hits me, since online shopping is really quite convenient nowadays, especially due to the pandemic. So we really need discipline to avoid spending too much and just focus on spending on what we really need. But for another question, for soon to retire people, what is the best investment for you?
Did you say retirees?
Yes,
if you're near,
people
all
who
right.
retire soon.
If you're retiring soon and wala ka pang savings, yun nga, no, na-mention kanina ko naman, may Bible naman, pwede tayo magdasal. No, but seriously speaking, as a retiree, it's all about portfolio. It's all about being able to put money aside when you will need it and when you what goal you are saving for. So as a retiree, yun nga, meron din tayong retirement planning. So maybe we can set another session for retirees. But the safest type of investment you can get into are bond funds and your time deposits and your treasury bills. Kasi pag retiree ka, what's important is cash flow. Right? You're in that stage of your life where your cash flow will stop. So it's never about how much cash you have. It's more about how much cash flow you need to sustain you. Right? That's more important, I guess. Of course, kung malaki yung cash mo, yeah, well, that translates to cash flow, but over time, mauubos yan eh. So you still need to cash flow, to have a cash flow acceptable enough to maintain the lifestyle that you want when you retire. But again, this is I don't want to make this a sweeping statement. It depends on the kind of lifestyle that you want. Retirement planning is very complex. You're in that stage where you already achieved a lot of your goals. You have different life stage already. Some of retirees can move to the province with little spending on day to day, but you have to consider medical expense as well, right? So those things are part of a very complex and um, uh, very tedious process for retirement planning. And again, more than happy to answer more questions about that for your attendees as well.
See, that's very insightful. So I guess that also covers people who are currently working but are quite far from the retirement. So let's try to invest at an earlier date so that we can have a more comfortable life as we get older. So for another question, what do you think is the most challenging part in encouraging people to invest in insurance policies?
Okay, good question. The most challenging part in encouraging people to invest in insurance policies is really the change of thinking that you know hindi kasi ako gagamit niyan eh. No? So for a lot of people, when you say, pwede kang bibili ako ng insurance, pero ang sasabihin nung bibili is, bakit ko bibili ng insurance? Hindi ko na magagamit ko lang yan pag namatay na ako, hindi ako makikinabang diyan, right? But if you change the framing, if you change the how you frame the narrative for life insurance is really not meant for you in the first place. It's to secure the future of your loved ones, but also at the same time, there are types of insurance that can secure your income, your future income. For me, life insurance and insurance in general is to provide compensation for economic loss. It can be a loss of your capacity to earn money or the loss of life. Again, money will never ever replace a person who passes away, but it will definitely help those they leave behind to continue with the life that they want. And you have to think about it that way. If you love your family, if you are thinking about the future of your kids, it's very important to take care and watch for and be sure that you are covered adequately so that they have the quality of life that you are providing for them. So that's very important. No? I think you're on mute.
So for our very last question, are there any tips or advice for our fellow Tamraos who are quite reluctant to invest at the moment, especially due to the pandemic?
Okay. So last it's always, I would say that it's always a good time to invest, right? But during this situation, during this very difficult time for all of us, financially, emotionally, very stressful, everything's very stressful. Um, just be sure you're in the right mindset when it comes to spending and saving and investing. Again, as I mentioned earlier, I set the stage of my presentation to say that this is not something that will solve your financial burden, and it takes time. And what I want you to do is, and I want to encourage you guys to maybe go to our website, look for an advisor who can guide you. Talk to our advisors. We've made this available online, and I can share with the team the final presentation with the links where you can go and seek experts' opinion also before you get into anything. Read about it. That's why I made my contact details available in Twitter so that you can reach out to me as well if you have questions. But again, continue learning. Don't stress yourself with the burden of having to start saving today. May pandemic, kailangan ko mag-ipon. No. Take care of your health first. Take care of your family first. Be sure you're in the right place, in the right mindset to when so that when this is over, when everything normalizes, in fact, you don't even have to wait for that. Just again, be on the right mindset of savings, of building wealth, because it's always a good time to start, no matter what your financial stage is. For 1,000 pesos, come on, kayang-kaya natin magsimula dyan.
Wow, that's really enlightening, Sir Ton. Again, thank you so much for your participation, and thank you so much for imparting your knowledge with us in terms of financial literacy, Sir Ton. Thank you, everyone. Stay safe
Thank
and
you.
healthy.